Hey, buddy, one more on Google Slides. And Google Slides can be used for a variety of purposes, not only as a slide presentation. What I have in mind today is an assignment that I had my Spanish 4 classes do involved vocabulary with cinema and movie reviews. And I had them work on a Google Doc, but the final product was a newsletter or the movie section of a newspaper. And here's how we started. They wrote their paragraphs, their critiques on a Google Doc, um, and then from that, I was able to go into Google Slides and change the page setup so that we turned it into a custom 8.5 by 11. And then at that point, I always like to start with the blank one, and so I got rid of the tables that were in there, and then I started from that. I chose a film strip for the top. As a class, we searched and we looked for something that could signify movies, and so we went into the research tool and we looked for images regarding film, and it came up with, and I switched it to free to use, and we ended up going with this one right here. Brought it onto the slide, and then from there worked with the dimensions of it so that we can stretch it all the way across. And notice how it guides you with the red line that pops up, and we put it all the way to the very top, and it's centered. Then I also took that same one and I copied it, Command C or Control C, and then I took the copy and I put it down at the bottom, except down at the bottom, notice how the red lines help you with orientation and centering. I took that and I narrowed it down so that it looks more like this. A little bit different than the top one. All right. Then what I did is I was able to take the text that they provided and put it into text boxes. I put a text box along the edge, right, and then I just took their writing and I copied and pasted that into the text box. And right now it's at Arial 12. And this group did a review on Mulan. They also provided a picture to go along with that. And I put the picture on there as well towards the bottom. And I'm going to move that just up a little bit higher, adjust a little bit. And then I also, for the second group, turned in one on the movie Up. So we put another text box, and realize how those blue lines are now showing you that it's the same size as the other one, that it's alongside of it. And on that one, I'm going to copy and paste the text that they turned in for their critique. Okay, and there it is. This is on the movie Up. And I'm going to now raise that just a bit, and it'll tell me that it's in line with the other one, that red line, and it's in line with the column on the left. All right. And then there was a third one that was turned in, and I decided to put it down at the bottom. Again, another text box, and I put the text box down at the bottom, and I'm going to put the text of that in that text box, and then work with it as now it's on there. I'm going to move it over. This one I'm just going to move a little bit or make it grow so that I get more space down below. And I can put the picture that they provided me for those articles. Copy, and then I just pasted it, and I work with the movie there, and the size, I'm working with the size of this so that, there we are, and then I'm going to just move that a little slightly over, okay, and work with the picture that they provided me so that we can talk about that movie as well. For then Finding Nemo, we'll just put it here and reduce it so that it goes with that movie, and we can even make Mulan just a little bit bigger and center that right there. Alright, so now we have 3 columns, or 3 stories about 3 different movies, but we're missing the title that they decided to give this newspaper section, or this magazine, was El Estreno, the premiere. So what I did is put it on here. We're going to call it the premiere, the El Estreno, and I'm going to put that as big as I can get it. Again, 96, and I'm going to make it long and thin. But this time, this little circle up at the top, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to move this. But this little circle allows me to grab it and then turn it on edge as much as I want. And there it is. And I'm going to take that and then just kind of move it over, nudge it over a little bit, and put it right in the center. Now, that's a little too big, so I'm just going to reduce that to about, let's say, 85. And in 85, change it to something colorful. And let's say the color, we'll put it at red, and we'll bold it. And here we are. Now we're starting to get more of what it should look like. Okay, I'm going to move this a little bit up. Move that just so, and there we are. Okay, and now it looks more like a magazine or a newspaper, or all talking about movies. And at this point, if I wanted to, I can then either share that with the students. Here's how, if you present it and you project it, that's what it would look like. Or I can also go to File, Download, and have my options. But I'm going to download it as a PDF. And it downloads it as a PDF. And here's what it looks like as a PDF copy. And now it's ready to print. I can share this PDF with everybody, or I can print it and give everybody a copy of it. Right? And that's how Google Slides can be used for a variety of purposes. In this case, a newsletter or a magazine, and not just for a slideshow. Right? Thanks, everybody. If you have any questions, give me a call. All right?